Hello, everyone. How you doing today? Thank you for joining me. I'm live on YouTube. I haven't been live on YouTube in a very long time. Uh, Thank you for joining me, and I appreciate you all for a live event. I want to. My name is Celso Garcia, and I've been hosting TikTok live debates, right? And I've been getting people from all across the country, and it's been interesting. I've learned a lot about how divided and how split Americans are across the spectrum. I've had people from all states joining the debate. Sometimes I have 8 people at a time. Um, and I understand why they want to ban such apps as TikTok, right? Because you could talk to people all across the United States, all across the world instantly, right? And you can host a debate and people could watch. I've had hundreds of people at a time listening, watching the debate, commenting, contributing, and it's been interesting. I'm old man labor on TikTok, old man labor on TikTok. Um, just like here, old man labor. And it's been interesting. And I've learned so much from the people that have been talking. I have concluded that we're very divided, right? But there's some people that are like moderates in between. But we have a left and we have a right, extreme left, extreme right. And then we have the people that are in between that feel conflicted because they don't know how to decide how they should speak or how they should conduct their business without offending other people. I tend to be try to be moderate, right? The key takeaways were that people could be persuaded a little bit, but some people are fixed and they're not willing to change their position. They become defensive when they're criticized or they're attacked for why they support uh, the candidate they support, right? They double down and become defensive when you criticize them or take a position that's different to theirs. And on top of that, what's been going on is that people when they don't like your point of view or if you school them on things, what they end up doing is that they end up reporting you or calling you names or calling you ad hominem attacks start to be used across the board. This is not conductive to business and to civics. We used to be able to hold civic events and have debate. Usually, this will happen in the college campuses, but now it's not happening in the college campuses as much. A lot of college campuses have shied away from debate or trying to cause conflict, or they want to be more politically correct than anything else. And that's a sad thing that everyone wants to be politically correct. Very sad, I think, that we want this to be like that we just want everything to be politically correct and we don't like anyone criticizing us. It's sad, right? I find it sad that we have that type of position, right? I think that we should all be happy and to be living in a free country where everyone is free. However, we might be free, but there are still major differences in incomes, major differences in schools, major differences in education, and and resources that are allocated to certain communities over other communities, right? And also the development of businesses and the investment of businesses in the community, in more some communities more than others, right? We cannot negate that, and we cannot tell which one is which. So tomorrow is going to be an unprecedented debate, right? They're debating earlier than they've been debating in years, right? They haven't debated this early in years, and the format is unprecedented. They cut out RFK Jr. from the stage, Jill Stein, third-party candidates. Instead, both candidates have agreed to their own rules as to what's going to happen on the stage. It's going to be interesting because Donald Trump's strength is to interrupt, to rebut in a by cutting people off and not letting them speak. That's how what she did to Hillary to try to get her off balance, right? And make himself look good with the off-cuff remarks, right? I think that it's sad and it's not a good thing for this country. The fact that we have two older gentlemen on the stage that maybe, I'm just saying, should have been retired already. I'm not saying we force people to retire, but possibly we might need a refreshing of our democracy, right? Our democracy is aging and has been aging very fast. And the people running the country are aging, and the young people are the ones that are frustrated and feel like they're not being heard, right? Those are the college students that have been protesting across college campuses all around the United States. They've been protesting, fighting for their right to be heard and to be listened to, in, and also for the United States to change its position on Israel. However, I don't know how it's going to transfer over to the political arena. As you've seen, uh, Jamal Bowman, lost his race. He was part of the squad, but AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, creamed Dolan, which was brought in from another area just to run against her. So there was just two different point of views. They want to talk about the Bowman race and how it shows that the left has no sway in the politics. However, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez won by a large margin, very large margin. It was like 82% to the other candidate barely hit the double digits. So uh, this is another indicator of where people stand. Jamal Bowen's district was a little bit more moderate. It has a different demographic than AOC's district, right? So I don't think we could compare it and say nationally that the progressive wing of the party is dead or it's no longer going to sway uh, politics, right? We can't say that such groups as Democratic Socialist America, um, Justice Democrats don't have sway over the political process. I think they do, but they might have sway in certain districts that are younger, more progressive districts, right? The older, more conservative districts are harder to crack, right? These are people that are used to the status quo and do not want change. It's hard to change people that don't want change across the system, right? It's hard to change people that don't want change. So now I think this election, the deciding factor is not going to be the MAGA red or the people that are extremely on the right of the party, and it's not going to be the left, the ones that are on the extreme left of the Democratic Party. The ones that are going to decide this race are going to be the moderates, the people in the middle of the Republican Party, the people in the middle of the Democratic Party, and also independents, those that don't have an allegiance to Donald Trump or Joe Biden. They don't have an allegiance to one party or the other party. They're more independent voters that have voted in different categories based on who they like or don't like, right? We already know that the MAGA people are gonna vote for Donald Trump no matter what he does, no matter what he says, no matter how many convictions he gets, they're gonna vote for him. And we know the vote blue people that vote blue Democrat no matter what are gonna vote for Biden. But the deciding factor, my prediction, the deciding factor is gonna be the independent and the moderate. So how do you gain independence and moderate votes without scaring off the left and the right wing? That's going to be the question that I won't be able to answer. That's going to be the question that's going to decide this election. And that's going to be what each candidate has to find the way to get those people involved in the process, right? To galvanize them and say, hey, maybe this person, I don't agree with them on these 5 issues, but I do agree with them on these other 5 issues, right? Um, One of those issues I think is going to be migration, immigration. Donald Trump has cast migrants as outcasts, as bad people, as people that don't speak right, um, that cause problems to society in general. Joe Biden has emphasized the human rights, the civil rights of these people, and our obligation to treat them as we would treat anyone else, right? And on top of that, I think that also the women are going to be a major factor in this election. The fact that a lot of women's body autonomy has been something that people have been bringing up a lot, right? The right is very galvanized by the Roe versus Wade decision. However, the people in the left and moderate, I think, are turned off by overturning Roe versus Wade with the Dobbs decision, right? Uh, One thing about the Jamal Bowen campaign was that they poured in $16 million. They said they were willing to spend more. They had a reserves of $20 million just for that race. That's insane that they spend that much money on a U.S. House of Representatives seat, right? It brought out the vote, but another thing about this is that a lot of people stayed home, right? A lot of people stayed home in that race. Um, it's a huge district that has a lot of people living there, but maybe there was more than 100,000 people that voted, which is higher than most other um, uh, districts voted. However, another factor that's going to make a big decision in this presidential election is the outpouring of votes, right? Can you galvanize? Can you get people to leave their home and vote for the candidate that they believe is the right candidate for the job? That's the question. Will there be distractions and things that are going to distract these people into not wanting to come out and vote? Because I keep hearing a lot of people, I keep hearing from a lot of people that they're not going to be able to come out because they're not interested in the race, right? I've been hearing it from family members, and I also heard it from some people on TikTok and from listening to other people in different groups, political circles, that they not might not even vote. They might just sit on the side and not vote for any of the candidates, right? Um, and there's RFK Jr. and Joe Stein. I'm not sure who they will hurt more, right? Obviously, I think Joe Stein would take some of the left voters away from Joe Biden. And I think that RFK Jr. will probably take more votes away from Donald Trump. But he might also take away votes from uh, Joe Biden. That's another factor, the third party factor, the spoiler effect they call in politics. Um, they all have the potential of spoiling this race and swinging the vote towards one person or the other. I might say that this is the biggest debate and this is going to be the biggest election, blockbuster election, that everyone should come out and vote. No matter which side you're on, you need to come out and vote, right? Democracy is at stake right now. And we always say that. But both candidates, I think, have weaknesses, and both candidates have policies that I don't like personally, right? However, I believe that the rhetoric from Donald Trump and the things that he has been saying, like the fact that he wants to go after the people that have harmed him, he wants to go after and get revenge after the people that have wronged him, I feel is dangerous talk, right? Very dangerous talk. Also, him saying that migrants are, he wants to go after migrants and anyone that's here, that he is saying that racial profiling will be put into effect nationwide. That's concerning for me as a Latino. Not that I just talk about identity politics. I don't fall into that trap of identity politics. However, I think it's dangerous for all Latinos to be threatened with being racially profiled or being searched or being having to produce papers whenever you're in town or whenever you're walking in the city or wherever you are, right? That's something dangerous, and that's something that I think is a little overboard. Another thing is that Agenda 47 and Project 2025 have strong parallels between each other. Very strong parallels. You should read these documents and look at the position points that Donald Trump wants to take. I don't think that being homeless it should be a crime. I think people need help. I think uh, people that use drugs are not criminals. They just need help. People that have mental illness need assistance. They need help to overcome their overpowering chemicals in their brains that are controlling them. So I think that overall, I will not be supporting Donald Trump. That's just my personal take. I will not be supporting him. I try to give him a chance, try to hear him out, but every day it gets worse. The words he says, and the biggest turnoff for me was January 6th. January 6th was the ultimate betrayal of the country. Storming the Capitol and breaking the windows and going in there as if they owned it, to me, was something that is very hard to forgive or forget, right? I don't judge the people for doing it. I think they got emotional and they got in their feelings, but also Donald Trump's words were dangerous by him saying, "We're going to fight like hell." Those words were the most dangerous words. And I think that his rhetoric is dangerous, right? It's dangerous because it causes the people that defend him to double down and want everyone to support him and want everyone to kiss the ring of the Trump ring, right? Kiss the ring and become part of the family. And that's the issue, that the family should be America and the country coming together. And what is he going to do to bring both sides together, right? I always ask everyone that. What are you going to do to bring both sides together? I want to know, what are you going to do to bring both sides together? That's my main argument. So this debate has divided people and it's going to keep dividing people. But I want you to ask yourself, what have both candidates done to bring the other side in and work with both sides? I think that Joe Biden will be more willing to work with MAGA people Republicans, Democrats, all sides. The only weakness that Biden has is that he's older and that it's hard to believe that he's going to last another 4 years in office without difficulties. That's the issue. So another issue is how strong is Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris has been very quiet and has been very behind the scenes type of person. She hasn't been out there in the limelight, and I'm not sure if that's the media's doing or is that a purposeful thing because vice presidents usually don't outshine the president, right? But it's I'm gonna leave it up to you to decide what side you're gonna pick, what who you think is gonna win the debate. I've been hearing from Trump supporters that Trump is going to win, from Biden supporters that Biden's going to win. But in the end of the day, what I want is the American people win. That we show the world that we're strong, and that we show the world that we're committed to human rights, to civil rights, to humanity, and the respect of everyone's dignity and everyone's self-respect. So in the end of the day, I think that the Biden people are going to think that Biden won. The Trump people are going to think that Trump won. But in the end of the day, I want people to pick what's better for America and what's better for bringing everyone together, for to gel people together, to allow everyone and anyone to participate in our democratic system. Uh, I thank you, and also I want to say that the politics in New York City have gotten very intense, right? There's another assemblywoman, Claire Valdez, that won the assembly district in New York, Long Island City, Sunnyside, in Queens. She did a good job organizing and making sure people knew who she was since last year, right? She has been unofficially speaking to people, picking people's brains, and trying to get people to be involved in her campaign. She had a lot of people volunteering, and I was grateful to be allowed to volunteer with her and help her win, right? Along with Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, I volunteered and helped her, and I'm glad that she won also. But it's not about me winning. It's about the community winning, and I want people that are committed to helping the public, helping children, helping the elderly, having programs for them that they could be assisted, cutting back on government spending, but also in a way that is efficient, right? And getting more without having to privatize or privatize schools, privatize healthcare, but keep it in the public realm, but just run it more efficiently and protect people's rights. I appreciate you all for listening, and I hope you have a good day. And let's watch these debates tomorrow. They're going to be very interesting. Write in the comments below, who do you think is going to win, Donald Trump or Joe Biden? And who do you think is better for unifying and bringing both sides together? Write it in the comments below. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. And I hope you have a good day. And I hope that you hear what I have to say. Thank you so much, everyone.